Hi, and welcome to another live session with me, Taryn from Mindshift Me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk today about your body and your brain and how they talk to each other about when you get hungry. So, uh, your body is constantly talking to your brain and giving you signs and signals that you're hungry or that you're full. And all we need to do is we just need to understand what those signals are, tap into it, and start to listen to them. And that way we can kind of find food freedom in that we don't have to be prescribing to a diet to tell us what to eat. We can just completely listen to our body and understand what's going on, when we're hungry, what we're hungry for, and then eat that so that we get satisfied. And that is the way that you keep your weight stable. Now, there's a whole lot more to that. That we can have an in-depth discussion about. I have a webinar that dives much deeper into all this stuff. It's also free. I'll tell you more about that at the end. But let's just talk about the science, first of all, about how your brain and your body work together. So first of all, if you get hungry, your body starts to give your brain some signals. So what it does is it starts to feel a little bit empty. It starts to be a little bit rumbly. Sometimes you can actually hear that, right? And all of this stimulates a hormone in your stomach called ghrelin. Now, what ghrelin does is it acts like a bike messenger, if you like, and it sends a message once it gets stimulated by this emptiness that your stomach's going, I'm a little empty, my energy's a little low, I need to refuel. So that stimulates ghrelin to send a message to your brain, and it says to your brain, hey, we're hungry now, go and eat something. And your brain goes, oh, okay. And it starts to make you think about food more. You have more thoughts, or, your appetite gets stimulated. So you start to think, oh, what am I going to have for lunch? What do I feel like? I'm getting hungry now. So that your brain thoughts, coupled with this empty, growling stomach and your energy that's a little bit low, are all signals that tell you to go and eat something. So let's say then you go and eat a sandwich or a salad or whatever it is. And as you're eating, the food goes down your gullet and into your stomach, and your stomach starts to break it down. And as it's doing that, and the nutrients are getting absorbed into your bloodstream and being taken into your cells, this all starts to stimulate another hormone. So your stomach starts to expand with the food in it, the nutrients get absorbed, your energy levels go up, and all of this feedback goes back to your stomach to go, ooh, we're getting full now. And that then stimulates this hormone called leptin, which is made predominantly in your fat cells. And leptin is also another bike messenger hormone, and that sends a message back to your brain to say, hey, we've had enough now, you can stop eating. You can kill that appetite. So that's exactly what your brain does. It tries to kill your appetite. So it starts to make you less interested in food. The food is not as tasty. You start to feel fuller, right? Your stomach's fuller. You feel more satisfied with your food. Now, then what happens is that you stop eating and you get on with the rest of your day. Now, this is called homeostatic eating. That's the nerdy science word for basically just balanced eating. Your body's in balance. It eats when it's hungry. It stimulates your brain to go and eat. You eat. You get full, you absorb all the nutrients, and you stop eating. Very balanced. But what happens often is that we ignore these signs, right? So we don't listen to our body and we overeat, or we undereat, right? We starve ourselves, and then that pushes ourselves into panic mode, or our brain and our body into panic mode. So when you do get a chance to eat, your body overcompensates and overeats, goes into overdrive. And then that puts everything out of whack, right? Whether you're starving yourself or you're overeating, and you bounce between these two and you're completely not listening to your body. So the idea is to come back to being a mindful or intuitive, or what I like to call instinctive eater. Now, if you think about, I use this analogy a lot of toddlers. Toddlers, instinctively listen to this. And we did this when we were babies as well. We instinctively listened to our body's signals. And this homeostatic eating that I've just explained, that just naturally happens. And as a baby, you just tune into that because it's all you know. And so when you're hungry, you eat. When you're not hungry, you don't eat. When you're craving something, that's what you want. And as we get older, we start to disconnect from our brain body signals, and we start to listen to our parents and what they're eating, or what they tell us what the food rules are, or your siblings, or your peers, or the media as we get older as well, of what's trendy, what's the latest fad diet, what all the celebrities are doing. And so slowly over time, we get influenced by these other elements or people, and it slowly makes us disconnect from our real body signs and signals. Now, everybody's different, right? You are completely unique. So following a generic diet is completely a waste of time, because the diet doesn't know when you're exactly hungry. And that can vary depending on a whole bunch of things. It can vary on your hormones, how much you had at your last meal or the night before, how much exercise you've done, how much water you've drunk, what the weather's like outside. All these things play a factor in your weight, not your weight, in your hunger. And this can influence when you need to eat for you. And this is why dieting just doesn't work. It's too generic. And the only way that actually works for you is to listen to your body, right? Your brain and your body are super, super smart. They work really well together. All you need to do is tune in, tap in, and start to listen to that and start to trust your body again. We kind of, as we grow up, we trust ourselves less, and we believe all the hype that's out there, all the weight loss gurus, all the diet coaches, all the, our parents and our I don't know, our fitness coaches and our teachers and our siblings and our friends and the media. All of this, we kind of start to subscribe to that. And what you need to do is subscribe to this. So subscribe to you. So if you want a lot more detail, I do have this webinar that I'm going to dive much deeper into all of this stuff. It's completely free. And you can find it on my website, mindshiftme.com/free stuff, on the free stuff page. I will put the link in this live webinar as well, and I'll post it on my Facebook group. So please come and join me. I'm sharing lots of tips and advice, and I hang out there a lot, so you can ask me any questions that you have. But yeah, go watch the webinar. It's got a lot more detail. And if you've got any questions, I'm around on Facebook, so give me a shout. Hope you've enjoyed this. Have a great Easter Monday.